there, PA Federationists. Welcome to another episode of White Canes Connect, presented by the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania. My name is David Goldstein. I am the affiliate first vice president. Joining me today on this very special episode is Pennsylvania Association of Blind Merchants president, Pam Baquero. Pam, how are you today?
Good. Getting excited for that spring fling.
Yes, and that's what we're here to talk about, the Spring Fling Blind Vendor Showcase that's coming up on May 17th in Harrisburg at the Best Western Premiere. Pam, why don't you go over how things are going to work for that day?
All righty. We have an event at the Best Western Premiere in Harrisburg at 800 Park Drive. And it will begin at 4 p.m. and end at 10 p.m. We will be having door prizes throughout the evening. We will be having delicious hors d'oeuvres, some of them similar to our holiday party, the spring rolls, but we've added a few new ones, chicken quesadillas and some Guinness beef croissante. Not sure how to say that. And we will also be having a DJ music, and we have a cash bar. We have a dance floor. We will be having raffles with wonderful prizes, and we will be having auctions. It's going to be a wonderful, good time showcasing talented blind vendors from various entrepreneurs throughout Pennsylvania and surrounding states as well. David?
I'll tell you, you talk about the quesadillas, and as we record this on Cinco de Mayo,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. So I know that, and I thought of you over the weekend. My wife and I were at the Walden School event called Bid, Sip, and Celebrate, and everybody was looking for dessert. And there's no dessert? What do you mean there's no dessert? At the holiday party, we didn't have dessert. And this time, what's even better than dessert from the hotel, one of the blind vendors is Joy, who is a blind baker, and she's going to be bringing her goods, and I can't wait to have some of that. And that part should be good. How much does it cost to get in? Why don't you go over the pricing?
All righty. Ticket pricing is $25 a person, and that will give you a door prize ticket. And you will also get the hors d'oeuvres available as well, and all the fun music and all that good stuff. We do still have a couple of vendor tables available, and the vendor tables are $50 a table. And let's see, we also have sponsorships available if you would like to help out and sponsor the blind merchants. We like to empower our entrepreneurs to be successful. We're there to support them through education and resources.
I don't know how it is with other organizations or other industries or what you want to call it. I am shocked. I was at the Nevada State Convention a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's always calling for a door prize. It's no different than at our convention or the national convention or this. And I thought it was funny. I thought, this is the same. I went out there to see what's different about how they do things for their convention, and that was the same. Everybody was excited. So that part is great. So the sponsorship levels start as low as $50. Now we're going to have a sheet to list all of those folks who have donated. Depending on the level that they are, there are different perks that you get with those. And at the supporter level, you'll be listed on our sheet that also will list our blind vendors so that you can contact them after the event. And I know that we were talking about doing some sort of map or checkbox where you went to a certain number of vendors. Is that still going to be the case?
Oh, yes, of course. We're in the process to make some type of fun game with it. I like to have fun at my events. So we're figuring out how we can incorporate something to make it interactive and fun, maybe a big spinning wheel for some chance to win a prize as well. So as you check in at the vendor locations. So more info about that will be coming. That will probably be a surprise as you come to the event. So that's something to look forward to.
What are some of the auction items?
auction items. We have some lovely auction items. We have packs of lottery tickets unopened. We also have a cocktail maker, which is a retail value of $379. And we also are in the process of receiving Meta glasses for our auction donated by Ray-Ban. So we are looking forward to that. And that is a retail value of $299 to $379. And then we also have a possibility of auction item as a website design. David, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that is something that the bidding will start at about $300. It will be for an informational website for your business or for whatever organization you want it to be for. Homepage, about page, blog page. So it will be set up when you write articles or post certain things. It will all go to one page. It will also have a contact page, so you can have that. It will have a domain name that will come with it, unless you already own the domain name, and we'll just use that. It will also come with 1 year of hosting. Hosting usually runs around 15 to 20 bucks a month, but the first year of hosting will be free as well as the design. Now, this is something that we normally charge upwards of $2,500 for, and even with the blind discount, it's still a lot less than you'd be getting it for a lot less than than what we normally sell these for. So again, that would be something that our favorite auctioneer will be getting bids for at the Best Western premiere on May 17th. Why don't you talk about how the raffle works?
The raffle, we have raffle items set up and we have boxes and we have raffle tickets for purchase. And you choose which boxes you choose the items. The items are various items such as a magic slushy maker, such as a popcorn maker, and such as coffee baskets.
Are these the same tickets that we used at the holiday party, similar to where they have two of the same numbers on each ticket and you split those, you hold one and you put the other in the box, right?
Yes.
Here is a tip. When you do those, don't split them in the middle like I did, like a dummy. Split them, rip one ticket off that has two of the same number, then split them, because then you know what number is putting into what basket, and you're not putting two of the same number in different baskets, because that was the problem I had, because I couldn't, of course, see the tickets. So don't do that. See me at the event, and I will explain to you what I mean.
Oh, and we also have a artist basket. We have some stretch canvas with acrylic paints, and
wow.
for so create your own. So that's an exciting raffle item. And we also have some of our door prize items are always fun, such as the tactile Rubik's Cube and the blind Barbie. Of course, we'll have the candy jars and various items for our door prizes, which you never know. We also have a basket donated with a value of $100 from Mara Choice. And I'm not sure what's in that yet. And when I receive it, we'll know.
I'll tell you,
awesome.
You're talking about some of these items, and I'm thinking, how would I get that home on the train? The canvas, I'm specifically thinking, or the slushy maker. This is not only to help folks in the business enterprise program, this is to help any blind and visually impaired entrepreneur. So if you're not in the BEP, don't think that this isn't for you. This is something that you can take part in, whether you come as an attendee or you get a table and you show your goods and services that you provide, any of that stuff. As long as you're blind or visually impaired, you are good to go for the event. And it's to help, as Pam said, with resources and mentoring if you need it. Pam has been in business for quite a while. I've been in business for quite a long while. I'm not going to say how many years. And so we want to make sure you survive. And at the event, you can learn from different entrepreneurs who are there. Kevin Cross will be there with the Essential Cane Keeper, which he's been a big proponent of helping out. In fact, I'll put a link in the show notes. Kevin was on a very early episode of White Canes Connect with Victoria Herrera, and it is still one of our most downloaded episodes. I'll put a link in the show notes, and you can check that episode out if you haven't heard it yet. But he'll be there, and he is a He's been at some of our conventions, and he's a good guy to talk to if you have questions. His essential cane keeper is also something very cool that I have one, and I know a lot of folks use that because when you're sweeping with your cane, who wants to put your cane in a backpack after you touched a dead animal or something else?
Who knows
So
what?
yeah, who knows what is right. So make sure you come out on the 17th of May from 4 to 10, as Pam said. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, plenty of music, and again, raffles, door prizes. Who doesn't love all that stuff? And we'd love to see you out there. If you are in the Philadelphia area and you're going to take Amtrak out there, which is very recommendable to do because once you get to Harrisburg, you can call the hotel and they offer a free shuttle from the train station to the hotel. Use the code V819. That's V819. You've got to call to do it. You can't do it on the app or do it on the website. You've got to call in and you tell them that you're blind and that you qualify for the disability discount that they offer for this. They might tell you that the discount is only 10% for this route, which is great. The prices are less than $18 each way. So round trip, you'll pay less than $35.
You can also use that code in person.
Oh, if you go to
if you are at the train station, yes, you can use it in person if you speak to actual human.
So make sure you use that code, whether you get your tickets last minute or if you call in advance. And again, there are many, many trains to and from Philadelphia and Harrisburg each day. It's 10 or 12. And I've also been told, and I think now that the track work is done, if you have a ticket on one train and you either don't make it or you're done early, you can get on another train. It's never an issue, they said, other than when they were doing track work.
Yeah.
So I think that is also cool. And again, you can't do that on other routes. So don't expect if you're going to New York or Washington or Baltimore, you can't do that. But Philadelphia to Harrisburg and back, you can. So while we're talking about the Business Enterprise Program, Pam, why don't you give us an update? I know it's been over 5 years since they've had new folks into the program. What's the situation now?
Well, the last that I have heard is at least a little bit of good news here. We are supposed to be moving forward, and we are going to be going with training at HGAC, which is up in Johnstown, which is a train ride from Philly and various places, even Pittsburgh. So it is not definite that we're going to stay there, but we're going to go there because I know this is the quickest and fastest way to get it up and running. The last time when we were there, it was around 2014, 2015 before we moved to Harrisburg. But I was one of the last people at HGAC and I'm very successful. So they did need some improvements. So I was able to give my opinion and my input. And I know things should be a lot better there, but we are looking for other locations and other opportunities on how this is going to work. But we are looking to hopefully get our first class going in the fall. I don't know. I can cross my fingers, but that's the rumor. So
Okay.
I can really hope. It's been an awful long time. And I've been on this training committee for years now.
It's as
I
long
have
as they
done-
get it open, as long as, once you get something open, as so many people, start ugly and then work out the kinks. And the fact that it
Yeah.
looks like they may start, and I guess we'll hear more from Wes on Wednesday at the Pennsylvania Rehab Council meeting in Harrisburg. I don't think this
Yes.
episode will be out by then, but hopefully you don't read about anything in the papers after that meeting. But I will be there. So as long as they get it up and running, where once it's going and they get more, the program is down to 19 people. Is that right?
Correct.
So you have 19 people. And how many locations do you think there are around the state?
It could be. We have third-party, locations because we don't have people in certain areas and things like that. So there's opportunity out there. It's just getting it started and getting it pushed forward because we can't, as the licensees that are already in the program, we can't be overworked by running more than one location, which some people do, and it's a lot. So we're trying to do this to help save our program instead of giving them away to third parties. And then you got to get the contract back, which we can. but it just takes a minute. So there's going to be opportunities. And I know that I'm always pushing forward for this, but I also say to people, if this isn't your thing, there's other opportunities, and, just don't be afraid to think about what you want to do.
And at this point, are there plans to look into other areas right now? I know there's been some concerns with the program being in these state buildings where maybe the people aren't back to work full time, they're working from home still. Are there plans to expand the program or go into other areas, do you know?
I would love that. We have pushed a little bit for that, but I think they're so overwhelmed with just getting this back up and running before they try and start something new, I think. But we definitely need to look at that. And that is a topic on our agenda, to move forward with the business enterprise program by trying new things, because we don't know how things go with this government, and whether people will be working in the buildings or not. And you know how that's a big important part of the business enterprise program, is the
Right.
priority in the federal buildings.
And again, like we said, and not to beat a dead horse, but just to get it back up and running, to get some folks in there to train so that some of those other places can have a vendor in there to work it and make it a decent living. Working the business enterprise program is so important. And I know you're very successful at it. I worked with Kirk Hunger, who is very successful at it. And it could also lead to other business opportunities outside of the business enterprise program, but something where you may make a contact. And again, a lot of people say some things about the program where, well, you can't, if you leave it, you can't sell it, it's not yours. Yes, all of that is true, but there are benefits to the being in the program. And especially if you've never run a business before, it's a good way to get your feet wet. If you're just out of high school or just out of college and you say, hey, I want to go into business for myself, this is a good way to get started and see how things are run and how you do things. And then you can just go from there.
Exactly. That is how I think it should be. People come in and learn, and then they can grow and move on to something else that they want to do, and give more opportunity for other people to come in and, and do the same thing, to grow, because I'm sure not everybody wants to be dealing with food and vending machines. That's not their passion, I wouldn't think.
Right. I love vending machines. I have to tell you, when I was younger, I had a West Coast video franchise. And for those of you young folks, a video store was a place where you went and you got a videotape, you took it home to your house, you watched it, and then you took it back. It was like Netflix, where you had to actually go and pick it up.
You had to rewind it.
And yes, you had to be kind, you had to rewind. But we had vending machines in the summer that were outside of our business, and crazy amounts of money for just a couple of machines. So just imagine a postal facility that has 30 of those, with a lot of hungry and thirsty people in them wanting to buy junk food and soda and energy drinks and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And pastries and who knows what else. I'm sure condoms, whatever you could sell in those machines, you can sell in those machines. So it is something that, and I guess to get started in the program, best to contact your BBVS counselor. Is that right? Is that the first thing you've got to do?
Yes, you need to make sure you open up a case.
Okay. So if you don't have a case yet with BBVS, get a case, tell them that you want to jump into the business enterprise program. You'll have to show that you can use a computer and you have mobility skills and whatnot. You don't have to drive a car to do this, but you do have to prove that you can get around from point A to point B, because how else are you going to get to your business?
And depending on the BBVS office, if you ask about the business enterprise program, and you may get a response that they may not know what you're talking about, or they may think that this program is not going to be operated for years and years and years, because I get phone calls from people. If you get that, please contact David or myself, and we will help resolve that issue and educate the BBVS about their own program.
It is very frustrating. And I heard from a few people and talked to a couple of people that at the Erie convention. I said, to somebody within the program who actually presented during the Taking Care of Business seminar. I said, hey, these people in this office never heard of the Business Enterprise Program. How do you fix that? And he said, I'll make sure I talk to them. And it is a frustrating thing that you have it would be like somebody walking into your store and saying, hey, I'd like to buy a blah, blah, blah. And you say, I don't know what that is. You can't do that.
Mhm.
You have to know what features and products and services and whatnot that you offer. And
That you
uh,
offer, exactly.
yeah, I mean, if somebody comes into your place and they say, I'd like to buy a cup of coffee, you say, oh, well, we have this, 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 and this, and here are the sweeteners we have and whatnot. So it's the same thing. You've got to know
Mhm.
what you're promoting and helping folks with. I mean, that's why they're there. BBVS is there to help folks who are blind and visually impaired.
Speaking of coffee, I'll be selling my Blind Sunshine coffee at the
Oh, that's a
event.
great name. That is a great
Yes.
name, Blind Sunshine. Let's talk about your coffee. So, full beans are already ground or
Well,
K-cups. Okay. How about K-cups? You have those as well?
yes, I think we're getting into the,
Okay.
and then they have some that is different ground so that it's more for the people who fill their own K cups,
Okay.
like the finer or something like that, I guess. I don't know. Or
Okay.
ground coarser. Or, I don't, of course. Yeah, that's it. Coarse.
Okay.
I'm learning. I just drink it. Honestly. But wonderful, delicious flavors. Oh my goodness.
Oh, really?
So yes, yes.
What else do people need to know about the Spring Fling Blind Vendor Showcase? What else is there? Are there rooms left or is it too late to get rooms?
That's a good question. The rooms are pretty much, you would have to call the hotel itself to find out, because I know that a lot of the rooms have been booked.
Okay.
But I also want to let you know, we were talking about, the blind and low vision attending the event. This event is also for the public. We want the public to experience the blind vendors. So we need to make sure that we invite our friends, our family, our neighbors, our coworkers, anybody who would like to support the blind merchants and say support the blind community and attend the Spring Fling. And if you cannot attend, there's an option. You may purchase a ticket. Does not mean you have to go. That just helps with our fundraising. Or we have the sponsorships that David had talked about. And I think, David, if I'm right, when I was on the sponsorship, at the bottom of the levels, there's a box that you can check. And if somebody wanted to just donate $10 or 15 or 20, they could put it into that box.
Any money that you donate for this is going to help blind vendors to have a table in the exhibit hall. You do have to be blind or visually impaired, but like Pam said, to attend, you don't have to be any of that. We want the entire public. My dad used to tell me when I opened for business, make sure you don't turn any business away. You want anybody that's willing to give you money, you want to take it from them. If you're in business, don't let them walk away mad. Take their money, give them the good or service that you're selling, and everybody's happy because they got what they wanted. You got what you wanted. And it's important that, again, like Pam said, you have your friends and family, coworkers, anybody you know, strangers off the street, whatever you do, get somebody, bring somebody with. You can go to pablindmerchants.org/fling. You can buy one ticket. You could buy 100 tickets in one transaction. Do what you can. All the links will be down below in the show notes so that you can become an exhibitor or a sponsor or whatever you'd like to do, or just an attendee. And again, it's going to be a lot of fun on the 17th, Pam.
Oh, yeah.
I do appreciate you joining me today, Pam. If you've got questions, comments, show ideas, you're going to attend, but you don't know what to wear. Again, we're all blind. It doesn't matter what you wear. We don't care. Just come to the event.
Yes,
Shorts and a
exactly.
t-shirt, a tux, whatever you want, show up and pay your $25. Come on in, win some raffles, win some auction items, and eat and drink and listen to great music with a lot of friends. But give us a call if you're interested. 267-338-4495 is the number, 267-338-4495. You've got up to 3 minutes to leave your name and town and whatever your question, comment, whatever you got, please. You can also reach us at whitecanesconnect@gmail.com, whitecanesconnect@gmail.com. Pam, thanks again for joining us.
All right. Thanks. See you there, guys.
Thanks for listening. Take care.